Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Yacht Crew Blogs right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Ria. I am your host, and today I am pleased to introduce Stephanie Barkway. She is the head of marketing and charities at TAM Asset Management. How are you, Stephanie?
Hi, Ria. I'm great. Thanks. How are you doing?
Good. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We have had quite an interesting year this year at Yachting International Radio in regards to financial stuff. We've had a few people sort of come on board talking about issues that they've had in the past. But TAM Asset Management is, I think, one of the great guys. Can you tell us a little bit about the background of the company?
Yeah, of course. So TAM has been going for nearly 12 years now, and we specialize in a range of discretionary investment management portfolios, and we have a wide range of options for lots of different clients with lots of different needs, such as an ethical ESG range and even a Sharia Islamic range as well.
Well, you also have something specific for seafarers as well.
We do, yes. Obviously, we are delighted to be operating in Europe now, in Mallorca. And from there, we've developed and recognized a need for the seafarer community for an accessible professional investment management initiative. So, yeah, we've recently launched the Seafarer Saver, and, we hope it's going to be prove a good service for your listeners.
Well, and Tom Worthington is someone that a lot of people know, and he's been, in Mallorca for his whole life. And yeah. I'm not exactly sure how old he is, but he's been part of the community. Yeah, we won't talk. But he's been part of the community for a very long time. And, yachties are sort of near and dear to his heart. So, he is definitely somebody you can trust and somebody who, he plans on staying here for a long time. So this is something that he helped set up, is it not?
Oh gosh, yeah, very much driven by Tom. And as you say, he's worked for the community. He has wonderful connections in the community, and he's seen some horror stories and heard some horror stories about some bad investments been offered to the community. And it's heartbreaking hearing some of the stories. So he really wants to provide a service from a trusted investment manager such as TAM with a long track record, and industry awards for the services they've provided. So we've got that background, and we hope that sort of instills some trust back into the community.
Well, it's definitely something that's needed because, in the yachting industry, of course, people start off at 18, 19 years of age. They make really good money. And I'm not sure about you, but I know at 18, it didn't matter how much money I made. It probably went out just as quickly as it came in.
Yeah, never enough.
But the thing is, at some stage, your yachting career ends. And just by the very nature of the business, not a lot of people have that money set aside for the day when they reach 35 or 40 and decide that they want to go shore-based. And, you don't necessarily have government pensions put in place or savings account put in place. And, unfortunately in school, we're still not taught that we need to start looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with, the current climate that we're in, and this digital age that we're in, I think the younger generation are now coming into the money. And as you say, the seafarers come into a lot of money doing the jobs that they do, and they're more aware now of some options available to them, and the real importance to start saving now. And you don't have to start saving hundreds of thousands initially. You just start small, and over the years it grows and it grows, obviously dependent on the markets. Of course, there's always that disclaimer, but that the sooner you start, the bigger potentially that nest egg will be when you come to needing it.
Well, the one thing that really excites me about TAM is that you guys have a charitable aspect to it. That is something that is really, really important to you folks. And it just makes it so simplistic. So not only are you growing your future, but you're also helping others along the way. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So the initiative is You Give, We Give. and it was launched alongside our ethical range of portfolios back in 2013. And there was a perfect synergy there. We were launching a range of ESG portfolios, and Lester, our CEO, always wants to go that extra mile for potential investors. So whilst there were other ESG investment portfolios available with other companies, they weren't offering any sort of charitable giving initiative. So You Give, We Give was born out of that to add value. And it's a super simple process. The investor can choose to donate up to 20% of their annual portfolio gain, and it's the calendar year, so from January to December, whatever that's made, they can donate up to 20%. But what TAM will do to show the commitment to the investor and the charity that they've chosen is match that donation with an equal percentage from our management fee for managing that client's portfolio.
Well, that's amazing. How many options do you currently have?
Charitable giving options.
Yes.
Well, the client can choose any charity, which is what makes the initiative unique. We do have some partners that have learnt about the scheme and want to do a bit more and want to spark up a relationship with us. So we'll sort of go the extra mile to make supporters, our clients, aware of them, and they will make their supporters aware of the scheme. But the client can choose any charity, and they can change that charity after a year also. If they think, right, I've given to charity A this year, I'd like to give to charity B next year. It's super flexible.
So what happens if the person that has signed up to the charity plan, what happens if all of a sudden they're not in a position to be giving anymore? Is it as just simple as getting a hold of you and saying, look, I need to stop this now just for a short period of time?
Yeah, of course. So every client of TAM gets login details to our online platform. So all they have to do is log in and select the You Give, We Give options and just cancel the You Give, We Give contributions. And if after a year they decide, oh, actually I'm in a better position, again, they do the same thing. They can just log in and select the option to start giving again. They can also change the percentage as well. They don't always have to give 20% or 10%. They can bring it down or they can increase it.
And at the end of the year, do they get some form of paperwork that shows exactly how much money they gave and how much money TAM gave in response?
Yeah, of course. So we send, that's the best part of my job. We obviously send the charity a letter. We get lots of, charities coming back to us saying, what's the catch? Where's all this money come from? And obviously we have to explain that it's just an initiative we're running. We let them know, obviously with the investor's prior approval, to pass those details on, that we have this client that's chosen their charity as the beneficiary, what they've given. In the UK, they can obviously claim that gift aid, so we sort of split out that donation for them so the charity can claim on the client's donation. And of course, let the client know what their portfolio had made in that year, and therefore the percentage that they opted to give for You Give, We Give, and what donation that's generated, and likewise with our fee, what our fee was for that year, and therefore what the donation was.
So it sounds like everything is very, very transparent.
Yeah, of course. If they're choosing to give to charity, while it's completely effortless and, all they have to do is tick a box when they open the account, we want to show them what it's made, how we've made it, and what's gone off. It's still their hard-earned profits. So, of course, everything's, all out in the open with all the calculations, etc.
Well, one of the great things is that here in the Mediterranean, Save the Med is a very large sort of foundation that people are quite interested in, because it's not only helping to save our oceans, the seagrass, beach cleans, education. And with the Seafarer Savers, I noticed that Save the Med is one of the foundations that you folks donate to.
Yeah, absolutely. Save the Med are doing incredible work. And when we launched the Seafarer Saver. I mean, there's the perfect synergy there, isn't there, with providing an investment solution for the seafarer community, and then giving them the opportunity to donate to a charity that is close to lots of the community's hearts is wonderful. And the more donations going to a charity like that, the better.
So now that is one that is based more in the Balearic Islands, but as Seafarer Savers sort of spreads across Europe, there is a possibility of more charities much like that, say, for example, in France or other areas, to come on board as well.
Oh, goodness, absolutely. We hope that the scheme and the investment opportunity will spread across Europe, and people will get wind of it and think it will be able to help them. And likewise, the charities thinking, God, my supporters would love this scheme. It could really help us. Of course.
Well, I'm really excited about it, and I do have actually right on my own website, you are capable to go into the Seafarer Savers site and check it out and all the information. Underneath this interview, when it airs, I will make sure that we have all of your details, so that not only, from an investment angle, just a simple investment angle, as well as on top of that, the charitable giving. I think it's just absolutely amazing. And the great thing about TAM as well is that in conversations with Tom in previous interviews, he has also stated that, even the investment side of things is very, very transparent.
Oh, goodness, absolutely. It is imperative, and it should have been imperative I think, for a lot longer. But, the fact that we give every client a login to our online platform, they have access to that 24/7. They can generate reports instantly and, choose how bespoke they want that report to be. So depending on how much information they want, we give them everything. But they can sort of filter out the bits. Most people just want to log in and see how the portfolio is doing. But we give urgent commentaries, everything we've bought and sold. Fees, of course, is massively important. So we break down all those fees, where it's all gone and how much it's amounted to. So, yeah, of course, it's absolutely at the top of TAM's list to be completely open.
Well, and the other thing that really sort of excited me about it was that people aren't tied in for the rest of their lives and spending the next 30 years trying to pay off something that they didn't actually think they bought into either.
Absolutely. Of course, when you are investing, you should look at it as sort of medium to long term, because as everybody knows, it can go up as well as down, the markets. And, the longer you're invested for, the more you could potentially gain. But of course, that's why we, as TAM always say, we want to make our portfolios completely accessible and likewise flexible, so people can test the waters, and if something happens and they need to take a break or whatever, they can take payment holidays, for example, with the Seafarer Saver. So if they're giving monthly, they can stop that for a couple of months. There's absolutely no penalty. It's their money and we're there for them. So.
Well, Stephanie, I say it's a win-win situation. Not only are you saving for your future and whatever you possibly want to accomplish in the future, but at the same time, you're actually giving back to many people that don't have, whether it be, making sure the environment, which is a big thing in the yachting industry. We want to take care of the environment, and that possibility is there through gains that you don't even necessarily have to put money into. It just comes off what you've already made.
Yeah, exactly that. We want to make it, again, effortless for the investor, but showing our commitment to the beneficiary that client's donated, and donating our fees. And also, if for some reason the markets have been a bit volatile and the client hasn't made a gain in any given year, we will still donate to the charity, because we want that donation to that charity to be sustainable. We don't want to give them a lump sum one year and then, in a couple of years they don't get anything. So we really want to and keep the relationship, sort of up there for the client and the charity as well. So we will always give, even if for some reason the client isn't able to.
Well, it sounds great. Stephanie, I thank you ever so much for your time. I do realize you're a very busy lady over there.
No, thank you so much for having me. It's been delightful to chat to you. So thanks for having me.
Once again, it's been Stephanie from TAM Asset Management, as well Seafarer Savers. All the information will be underneath this interview when it airs. Please do check it out and see if it's something that will fit your needs. You have been watching another edition of Yacht Crew Vlogs right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Ria. I have been your host. Please tune again for another episode.